Hello and welcome. I'm Robin Joy and I'm delighted to be speaking with you in what is now the fifth of my six-part email series designed to further assist you in achieving and maintaining your ideal weight forever by enlightening you with information about my philosophies and concepts, inspiring you with stories about my own ultimately successful weight management experience, and empowering you with easy to implement, highly effective strategies and tactics that will make achieving and maintaining your ideal weight not only possible, but easier and more enjoyable than you could ever believe possible. So thanks for tuning in. Now, once again today, before I launch into the new information, I'm going to take the time to do a quick but comprehensive review of the key points I've covered so far. So far, I've introduced you to an incredible cycle that I refer to as the life experience cycle, and I've revealed the first four stages, with the first being that the beliefs we hold drive the thoughts that we think. The thoughts that we think stimulate the emotions that we feel. The emotions that we feel attract the circumstances that we encounter, and the circumstances that we encounter facilitate the behaviours that we enact. And so the first four stages of the life experience cycle, the thoughts that we think, the emotions that we feel, the circumstances we attract, and the behaviors that we enact can all be conscious or subconscious and can all be positive or negative. But we don't speak like that in day-to-day life. So what exactly do we mean when we say conscious or subconscious, positive or negative? Well, another word for conscious, as far as our thoughts are concerned, is deliberate. And for our emotions, we might say controlled. And for our circumstances, we might say considered. And for our behaviours, we might say intentional. And for subconscious, we might say that our thoughts are programmed, our emotions are uncontrolled, our circumstances are persistent, and our behaviours are automatic. And for positive, we might say that our thoughts are optimistic, our emotions are joyful, our circumstances are advantageous, and our behaviours are constructive. Or negative, our thoughts are pessimistic, our emotions might be fearful, our circumstances might be restrictive, and our behaviours might be destructive. And so in week 5, I'm excited to reveal that whilst our beliefs drive the thoughts that we think, and the thoughts that we think in turn stimulate the emotions that we feel, the emotions that we feel attract the circumstances we encounter, the circumstances we encounter facilitate the behaviours we enact, the behaviours we enact impact the experiences that we have. And so just like our thoughts, our emotions, our circumstances and behaviors, our experiences of ourselves and our life can be conscious or subconscious, positive or negative. And by conscious, we might mean mindful, and by subconscious, we might mean unconscious. And by positive, we might mean desirable, and by negative, we might mean undesirable. And so that means that at every stage of the life experience cycle and for every aspect of ourselves and our life, we always have two sets of two options which form the life experience matrix. Do I function in a state of consciousness or unconsciousness? And do I come from a place of positivity or negativity? Okay, so it's week 5, which means that we've been through the thoughts, the emotions, the circumstances, behaviors, and experiences. But for me to really explain my process to you and to give you my example, I think it's best if I compare it like a before and after. So today I'm going to take you through each step of the cycle that I did that worked for me, but I'm going to compare it to the behaviors and thoughts and circumstances that I used to do so you can see the difference. So you understand not just what I did and how I went about it, but why I made the changes that I did and the result or impact they had on the experiences that I'm now enjoying. So let's take a look at my 2 different experiences with managing my weight. My previous, for 30 years, my unconscious attempt to manage my weight, followed by my one successful conscious experience with effectively managing my weight. So my unconscious weight management experience came from a place of fear. So my belief was, I'm too fat to be respected, to be attractive, to be long-term healthy, and to be happy with myself. The thoughts that I was thinking were programmed. I have to punish myself. I need to deny and restrict and sacrifice the things that I like that I consider to be bad for me. The emotions were uncontrolled, so they were automatic. I'd feel fearful. I'd feel disappointed within myself. I was full of despair, frustration, and struggle, and I was genuinely concerned that I would never be able to get to the place that I wanted to be, which was slim, healthy, and happy. And therefore, my circumstances were disadvantageous. I was constantly being tempted. I felt weak, and I was constantly justifying what I considered to be bad behaviours. My behaviours were automatic: diet and exercise, just like everyone else in the world. I've got to lose weight, I must diet and exercise. And I would implement diet and exercise right from the get-go. And my experiences were cyclic. So I went through a pattern or a cycle. Every sort of 4 to 6 months, I'd get motivated. I'd implement positive changes. I'd lose some weight. Then I'd get complacent and I would regain all the weight I'd lost and then some. So let's now compare that to my conscious weight management experience, which, as we know, is my ultimately successful and permanent experience. So my belief was from a place of joy. I'm in command of my mind and my weight, and I choose to be slim and healthy. My thoughts were deliberate. I love being tall, skinny, toned, and tanned as a result of being healthy and active. And my emotions were therefore joyful. I felt excited. I was full of faith and certainty. I felt determined, and I knew I had to be persistent. My circumstances started to be more and more advantageous. I felt motivation. I was doing exercise that I genuinely enjoyed. My behaviours were intentional. I focused entirely on my mindset for the first 3 weeks. Meditation, visualization, journaling, saying affirmations. Yes, I did make changes to my diet and exercise, but not until they felt good. And finally, my experience was mindful. I lost some weight. I knew that I was doing the right thing, and so I chose to persist. And I lost more weight. And my faith in this process firmed, and I lost all the weight I wanted to, 15 kilograms in 10 months. And finally, I got to a point where I knew with certainty that I would never put any of the weight back on. And next week, when I reveal the 6th stage of the life experience cycle, you will understand once and for all how you can implement positive change permanently. So this week, the empowerment exercise is for you to consider your experience. So what I want you to do is continue doing all the things that you've started doing. I want you to continue with the visualization. I want you to continue to be vigilant with your subconscious thoughts. I want you to observe them. I want you to change them when they're negative, and I want you to spend time reinforcing them. I want you to continue to emphasizing the positive thoughts that you have with strong, positive, supportive emotions. I want you to continue to notice and document and appreciate the new and beneficial circumstances that you attract to yourself. I want you to continue to act upon the circumstances that you attract that also feel good. And I want you to now, in week 5, I want you to analyze how you're going. I want you to reflect honestly. Are you doing the visualization every day? Are you doing the conversion every single time? Or are you catching yourself in a negative content and saying, oh, I'm being negative again, and then just getting on with something different and not stopping and saying, what do I want to be thinking? You must do all of the activities, not just occasionally and not just pretty well. You must be accurate and consistent all of the time. This is how we bring about change. And when you think about it, pretty much everything that I've asked you to do is energetic. Think thoughts, listen to a visualization, feel energy, note your circumstance. I mean, you're not actually doing anything physical. It's just mental toughness. It's mental strength. And it can be hard to get mental strength, but the best way to do it is to just focus and set it as your intention. So I want you to continue doing everything, but I want you to be really honest with yourself, and that is not always easy, but I want you to be really honest with yourself. Are you implementing the steps that I've taught you accurately and consistently? When the answer is no, you simply make a promise to yourself to do better. Don't think that unlike everybody else, you will get this in one go. This is not a book that you read and love and get the story. This is a book that you read and you understand parts of the story, and then you read the book again and you understand and appreciate more. There's no reason to believe that you will be any different, and you will go from not having an awareness and understanding to fully grasping and executing perfectly every single step of the process. So be kind with yourself, but be kind and brutally honest. Okay, so that's it for week 5. It's been a delight speaking with you today. I'm really excited now that we're at the business end of the cycle. And so next week I'm going to explain the final stage. And the good news is that if you've stayed with me so far, next week I'm going to teach you how this cycle becomes easier and easier the more you do it. The final stage is going to be the difference between losing all the weight you want and having that experience, and losing all the weight you want and keeping it off forever without ever worrying or thinking or concerning yourself with your weight ever again. Okay, next week is the difference between having the experience you want and having the experience that you want and then having it forever. Can't wait to talk to you then. Don't forget information about my program. It's a 9-week program delivered over 9 one-hour sessions, but I also do weekend retreats. So get in contact with me, talk about the different options, where you're at, what you want, what works for you. I'm sure we'll be able to create a program that is designed specifically for you, that's going to work in with your competing priorities and demands, because that's what I do. All right, until next week, I hope you glow with confidence, pride, vitality, and joy. Congratulations, and once again, well done.